Just 2 hours ago, Lilith completely confirmed that the next civilization to Rise of Kingdoms will be the Greek Civilization. They released a quick 30-second cinematic trailer basically on the Greek Civilization, and it was a pretty cool trailer, but it actually does give us a lot of insight into what this civilization will be doing. I will today tell you all about what I think the Greek Civilization will do. I'll go off the facts that have been given to us by Lilith in this cinematic trailer, and when I expect the Greek Civilization to release. If you are very interested in this very, very powerful civilization I predict coming to Rise of Kingdoms, you definitely should check out this video. So here's the cinematic trailer, and it's only 30 seconds long. It's not too long, but you can see already within the first 4 seconds, they've shown off what the units will be, and these certainly look like some type of a Spartan unit. They're definitely some type of a Greek swordsman, so pretty much confirmed right there, the next civilization will be infantry. If they're not, I'd be very surprised. These troops definitely look like infantry troops, like they're standing there with shields and spears. These troops that are actually attacking the Greek soldiers, people speculate they're Persian. And yes, that would make sense because I'm pretty sure the Greeks fought the Persians. However, I just think these are the Arabian special units that are not on their horses. I don't actually think this confirms Persian civilization is coming now. Maybe in the near future we could see it, but I don't think that they're going to come at the same time as the Greek civilization. There is also a short bluer guy standing next to Leonidas. I'm not sure who this could be. Possibly someone from Athens. I think that I'm getting my history right there. Athens was the other version of Greece, so there was like Sparta and then Athens, if I'm not wrong. So possibly there could be an Athenian commander. That is definitely possible. And then obviously we've got Leonidas, but I don't think they would do 2 Athenian commanders and then no Spartan commanders, because we have Leonidas and then there's 1 Athenian commander, and Leonidas is already in the game, so I think that there will be more commanders. Then they just do a quick overview. I think this kind of shows you a little bit what the architecture is going to look like. It looks pretty pleasing. I actually think this looks like a nice civilization. The background obviously won't be in your city, but for the most part, this is probably what the city will look like in the actual game. The buildings obviously will be a little bit more pixelated and stuff, but this is pretty much the overall design of your city. We also get another shot of the troops here, and they look certainly very different. I don't know if this was just a one-off thing. This might be the Athenian version because they don't have the Spartan-style shield. This shield you can see like right on the screen is definitely not Spartan-like. It looks a little bit more like an Athenian shield from my very, very raw history lessons. These troops definitely don't look Spartan, so possibly there are 2 types of special units. But then once the troops engage and get a bit closer after this cinematic, you'll see that they turned once again to like those Spartan-type units. So I'm a little bit confused. Maybe it's just like an animation thing. Or maybe there will be 2 special units. Maybe one of them is T4 and one of them is T5. That is certainly also a possibility. Other than that, this is pretty much a complete confirmation that Greece is coming to Rise of Kingdoms. Now, we're going to switch back into the game, and I'll tell you everything that I'm predicting for this civilization. Let's begin with the commanders, since a lot of people do care about that. I'm fairly certain these commanders will be in the gold chest, so I will save my gold keys in the hopes of getting them on release day. I mean, this commander probably won't be too amazing. They may have a chance at being the best gold key commander, maybe on par with Mehmed. I think that infantry are sorely due for a good gold key commander, or a good commander that you can access in the early game. Like, the best thing they got is Alexander the Great, and you get him halfway through KVK2, and he has no museum relic, so he's not that amazing. For the most part, archers have Isong, Cavs have Minamoto, and then anyone else could just get Mehmed and Caesar. But infantry really don't have any very good relics. They don't have any standout commanders for pre-season of Conquest. So if these commanders are really, really good and they're available in the gold chest basically the day a kingdom starts, that could certainly change how you invest in infantry as a newer player. Because, I mean, it's very difficult to invest in infantry, especially with museum. So hopefully this commander does have a good relic and some decent stats to back it up. As for the epic commander, I'm sure that they'll be very easy to access. I don't actually know what these commanders could be. I presume they're going to both be infantry commanders because I'm assuming that the Greek civilization will be an infantry rally civilization. Fiscal said it, a lot of other YouTubers have said it, and it makes sense. There is no infantry rally civilization. We just got Egypt, which is an archer rally civilization. We've had Arabia for a while, which is also a cav rally civilization. And the best civilization to rally with for infantry has just been Vikings, but they're pretty average for a rally if we're being real. So certainly I think the Greek civilization will be your rally civilization for infantry. So rejoice all infantry mains, you can actually rally now. As for other stats on the Greek civilization, I predict they're going to have health. There is no civilization for infantry that directly buffs health. France isn't a specific infantry civilization, as in it's increased troop health, which means all troops. It's not just infantry health, so I presume it's going to be an infantry health, rally damage civilization. That is my presumption. I presume the epic commander is going to be like most other epics, nothing too spectacular. Possibly they could be peacekeeping, that's what I would hope for. I'd like more barbarian commanders. But then again, they'll probably just make a classic infantry commander to add to their epic pool. I don't think they're going to be anything better than Sun Tzu. I don't think they'll go that crazy. So there's probably just going to be an extra infantry commander in the epic commander pool. For the special unit, I'm honestly not sure if they're going to be Spartan or Athenian. Looking at the video, it's very, very conflicting. One part is Spartan, one part is very Athenian looking. So I'm not too sure what they're actually going to do for the special unit. I presume that they will probably have infantry attack as their main stat if you're getting a health percentage bonus. Because all special troops have a boost to their base stats, I presume whenever you get a health bonus, you get an attack bonus. For example, the Janissary units for the Ottoman civilization have increased archer attack compared to base archers, and they have a health boost. So I'm presuming that the infantry for the Greek civilization will have an increase in base attack, but will have a 5% stat increase for health. Now, will the Greek civilization really change the meta? And for commanders, I can almost confidently say they won't. I mean, even if this new infantry commander is really good, they are still a gold key commander, and the only difference they'd probably make is you would probably get them over a Mehmed or over a Julius Caesar if he is a really good infantry commander and you want to be an infantry main. That is really the only change I'd see coming. I doubt that the epic commander is going to be extremely good, like on level with Sun Tzu, so that's not going to change too much. For most early game players, I highly doubt that the Greek civilization will be good. I mean, they may have training speed since there is no infantry training speed civilization, but other than that, I don't think they're going to be an amazing civilization for like open field, for doing off-season for KVK, because Germany will still be better due to the action point recovery. So overall, I don't think they're going to change the actual open field meta. They will obviously affect rallies, increasing the rally damage by 5%, but 5% really isn't that much. You might actually be better off choosing something such as the Viking civilization if you're getting swarmed more, because they are giving you a little bit more attack and counter-attack, so that could be a little bit more interesting than the all damage. But then again, I think all damage is just better. So yes, they're going to make the rallies a lot stronger, but for the most part, I don't think that the civilization is going to change the field or which civilization you actually pick. Now, when will the Greek civilization release? And I think that there's really two routes Lilith could go here. They could release it in their coming patch with the armament changes, giving armaments all those changes, or they could wait till the month after, and that means we won't see the Greek civilization until around August or very late July. If I had to guess, I think they're going to do it sooner, so possibly this coming July, really early, maybe like the 7th or the 8th of July, possibly even earlier, we could be seeing the Greek civilization, because I feel like when Lilith does a trailer for something, they mean business and it's coming out very soon. For example, Queen DIDO and ZHUGE's trailer was released like less than a week later, they were in the game. So I think that completely makes sense, the argument to say that it's coming very soon. If it doesn't come this patch though, I'm sure we can assume that it's going to come within the next patch, so probably mid-July to early August. Now, one last thing I'd like to discuss is my personal opinions on actually adding the Greek civilization, and I think the simple answer is they probably should have done it a little bit earlier, because I feel like the Greek civilization is very iconic. If you say to someone Spartans, they know what that is. You maybe even say to most people Athenians, and they'll know what those people are. So I feel like the Greek civilization definitely should have been in the game a lot earlier. But, I mean, at the end of the day, they are coming to the game soon. I would have said that personally they should have come before the Vikings, and definitely before Egypt. I feel like Egypt wasn't a civilization people were really waiting for as much, but Greek civilization is something I've always heard people mention. I know people who don't play Rise of Kingdoms, and whenever I mention it, they're like, do you use the Greek civilization? It just doesn't exist. So certainly, I think that it's a good addition to the game. It's probably going to bring a lot of new players to the game, which will be certainly very interesting. I remember when the Viking civilization came out, there were tons of people who came to the game and just picked it straight away because they did a massive advertising push. And I think that we could be seeing the same thing again with the Greek civilization. So I wouldn't be too surprised if Lilith brings in a lot of fresh new players to the game with this major addition. It will be very cool and very interesting to see a lot of new players. Really, nowadays, kingdoms have slowed down a lot, the numbers that they're making. I think it's now one kingdom every 2 to 3 days, which is a very long time. Like, this kingdom here has been out for around 2 days, and then they made this kingdom around a day ago. So they are about one kingdom a day at the moment, but I remember when I was first starting, it was like 3 kingdoms a day. It was stupid numbers of kingdoms that were releasing. So, yes, they're still on the one kingdom a day path, but I feel like Rise of Kingdoms definitely needs a lot of newer players, and this is a great way to bring them in with the Greek civilization. So hopefully Lilith does some interesting advertising, does some interesting things to make the Greek civilization cool. As for events, I think there will be a few, but they're not going to be too standout. There will probably be an event where you can get the commanders for free, so the 10 gold heads worth of commanders. There will also probably be a few events that give you like the civilization swap that always come around whenever Lilith adds a new civilization. Now, these videos take a lot of time and effort to make, and if you want to discuss anything about the video, if you want to talk about the Greek civilization and what you would love to see in the civilization, consider joining the Archer Syndicate Discord, which will be linked in the description and in the pinned comment. There you can talk with me, fellow channel members. I try to talk as much as I can. I have been a little bit busy lately, but to all the people in the Discord, I'm sure you've noticed that I'm there pretty much every day chatting with at least a few of you guys. And it's very cool to meet all the fellow subscribers of the channel. Now, I just want to say thank you for watching and I hope to see you in the next one.